What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at the top ranked team on PvPoke, the one you see right at the top there, that Clodsire Malamar SABLEYE team. Now, what's interesting about this team is that it's kind of an ABB style team. You have two Pokemon in the back that are weak to Fairy, and then you have a Poison on the front to cover your Fairy weakness. Very simple team building. But what's interesting about this team is that SABLEYE is actually the non-Shadow, and it is running Shadow Claw, Dazzling Gleam, and Foul Play. So yeah, without further ado, let's see if it is as good as PvPoke suggests. Right away in the first match, we see a Morpeko on the lead, so this is a great lead, and they are staying in this matchup and just going to go straight Psychic Fangs. This is super effective, but it will still take 3 from my opponent, I believe, maybe more. Either way, I'm building up to the Earthquake, and I'm baiting with the Stone Edge. There's no chance that my opponent doesn't shield that, basically. And they just go for another Psychic Fangs again. They could have gone for the Dark Aura Wheel that time, but they did not. And this time I overfarmed because I realized that they were going to outpace me because they went triple Psychic Fangs. So I do shield that up. And now my opponent is either going to have to give me a second shield, or they're going to have to throw right away. And they're going to have to throw right away. But they do throw right away. They give me the second shield. I can get to the Stone Edge right before they make it to a 5th Psychic Fang, I think it is. But we are able to take it in the 2s, and it's a Superior in the back. And unfortunately, I have shown that I am running Stone Edge. So Sludge Bomb would have been nicer here, but I believe the PvPoke recommended move was Stone Edge. Either way, I just come in with my SABLEYE. I can tank 1 Frenzy here. The issue is I cannot take 2, as you can see, and I'm going to get to this move right as they get to their second move. So we'll throw right away. Foul Play leaves the Superior on 1 HP, which is unfortunate. I literally thought that KO'd, but I guess you can't even see the health bar. It's just an Aerial Ace, and it's a Talonflame in the back. So we have to make sure we throw in good timing, but the unfortunate part here is Foul Play is nerfed, which means this will not KO, and after that Incinerate, we're just about in fly range. How good are the IVs on my Malamar? They're stellar. Able to get to the Foul Play. This will KO the Talonflame there, and 1 Psywave to take out the Superior, and we're able to take that win. Claydol on the lead. Okay, another bad lead. Or not a bad lead. This is a bad lead, but the last one was a good lead. And we actually bait out a Pidgeot there, a Shadow Gust Pidgeot, popularized mostly by Yonkers, to be completely honest, because of the Air Cutter video. So I'm expecting that's what they'll be on, but we'll see. And they actually no shield the first when I could have had a Dazzling Gleam, knowing that 1 wouldn't KO, so I have to go for back-to-back Foul Plays. They do get the KO there, but they did have to give me a shield, and at this point I kind of just have to eat this. It's most likely a Brave Bird. I do get 1 turn switch, which is unfortunate, but at this point Brave Bird connects. I just come in, Psywave down with my Malamar. They anticipate the switch, or they just react very quickly and they get out into their Claydol. And the unfortunate part here is Psywave is resisted and 1 Foul Play doesn't KO, and they're going to be able to get 2 Rock Tombs on me if they want to use the shield. So I am going to throw right as I get to the next Foul Play. This will either grab the last shield or knock out, and we do grab the last shield. And unfortunately, these Mud Slaps are already adding up so much. So they go for a Scorching Sands, covering for a catch potentially. So I'm just going to go for another Foul Play, get the knockout. Are they going to come back in with a Pidgeot? No, it is a Morpeko in the back, and I anticipate the catch right as I get to the Foul Play. They try and go for a catch, and we are able to come in with our Clodsire, get the Earthquake off on the Morpeko, and we're able to take that win. Into the next match, we see a Talonflame. So this is where it's really nice to have Stone Edge. Of course, if you had Sludge Bomb and you built up to 7, there's pretty much a 0% chance your opponent isn't going to shield. That being said, that would one-shot, so they have to respect it, and we can take 1 move here. So even though they have a pacing advantage in the long run, we actually have the advantage here. and they do throw an alignment, allowing an entire Poison Sting in for free, which is nice, but it is the Flame Charge, which is a little bit more expensive than if they were going for flies, so that's actually going to work out in our favor, and they double shield, so at this point, I'm going to come in with my Sableye. I'm going to respect this move because I did not want to get Incinerate farm down on my Clodsire, and they have their own Clodsire in the back. So obviously resisting that Dazzling Gleam, so just going to go straight Foul Play in this matchup. And we're going to throw on CMP with the Earthquake so that they are energy dry when they leave this matchup, and Earthquake will definitely KO the Sableye from this range. And it does. So now we can just come in with our Malamar, go for the full Psywave farm down, well, with a catch of course. And this, hopefully it's the Earthquake, it is the Earthquake, so that means they're energy dry, and now we have a Malamar with a huge energy advantage in the back here. They have a Credilli in the back, so we're going to chip with a Foul Play first so that we do not debuff our attack and defense, and now we're going for the harder hitting superpower that does KO. It is the Talonflame still from the front, but because they went double Flame Charge and not Fly, they still need another Incinerate, so we get the full Psywave farm down, and now we can get the full Psywave farm down on the Clodsire, and Malamar with a 3-mon sweep there, so pretty clutch. Credilli on the lead in the next match, and they actually get out into a Drapion, and unfortunately for me, Clodsire is my best response to Drapion, so this is why I think this team isn't perfect. I think for its effectiveness, it does cover the core weaknesses, and this one I try and just catch an Aquatail, and I do when they get to back-to-back, which is nice because that means they at least didn't throw the crunch, but they're still going to outpace me, so I have to let this go because they would be able to make it to like 2 more Aquatails. Fortunately, they do bait, and then they come in with Credilli. So now I can actually have this energy go somewhere, so that was actually very kind of my opponent. But honestly, if you want to make this team even better, I think you just replace Clodsire for Swalot. It does make the matchup with like Talonflame a little bit trickier, but I think that's okay. Like, it's not a terrible matchup with Swalot. And you don't really, like, you just kind of need that poison coverage on the front. So either way, my opponent overfarms like crazy here, allowing me to get to a Stone Edge after we snipe the Credilli and KO there. And we are able to grab a shield, and we know one move will not take out here, so they're going to have to burn all of their energy in order to KO, and they actually save their Drapion with that energy, and unfortunately, I try and get the Earthquake and it doesn't connect. I should have just clicked on the Stone Edge because that would have done monstrous chip to the Glassy Shadow Dust Noir, but fortunately, because I need extra energy, I can just go for the catch on my Sableye, and now that'll allow me to get to basically over 2 moves here, coming out with loads of energy, which is what I need against this Drapion, because I have a shield, so I can just click the superpower. Superpower from this range is enough to KO the Drapion, so we're able to take that win. I don't even know, I didn't realize Malamar won CMP, but even if they got 1 turn lag there, it wouldn't have mattered because I had the shield. So either way, we see another Talonflame on the lead, so playing it out the same exact way. Gonna go for the Stone Edge right before they make it to their first move. And this is the only time we outpace the Talonflame, otherwise we do not. They go for 2 more Incinerates, so they're already at back-to-back moves, so I have to let this go. It is the Fly, and they just go for another Fly and allow a Poison Sting in for free. I am going to go for that Stone Edge and at least grab that second shield, and I do. And this is going to force them to throw their energy, but I'm going to shield back. I'm actually playing this one pretty different, and they have a Dugong in the back, so that is kind of surprising. They're double weak to rock, and now I'm going to come in with my Malamar because I do have super effective superpowers here, and I can take any 1 move no problem, and especially after that Stone Edge connects, I think I probably still need a superpower. I don't know, we may have Psywave that into foul play range, but not taking any risks after that Icy Wind debuff. And they actually come back in with the Talonflame, which allows me to go to a double debuffed in attack foul play. But if they go for the full farm down, which they realized they couldn't, they actually switch into Superior. So I do make the move, get to the superpower off, which is nice. I will have to take a Frenzy here, and that's okay. I believe I can eat 1. I don't know if I can eat 2, so I'm just going to go for a catch onto my Clodsire. I think we did catch an Aerial Ace, which is nice. I'm not sure who wins CMP in this matchup, but I sure hope it's SABLEYE because we're going to come out with back-to-back moves loaded. 1 foul play to KO the Superior, and another foul play to KO the Talonflame, and we are able to take that win. Into the next match, we have Clodsire into Dusk Noir. So this is a bad matchup. We have 2 better answers in the back. We're coming in with our weaker answer, and that's just because we will be able to outpace, get to the foul play before they're able to get to their first Shadow Punch, because they are on Astonish. So it's 4-3 pacing, and we can actually let this go because I think we'll live it, just barely. But they are back-to-back moves, and I'm pretty sure I'm at 1 HP here, so I can't really afford to shield this. I have to just sacrifice the Malamar, but it did its job. It grabbed a shield in the mid-game, and now we can just come in with our SABLEYE. Switch timer is up, so we have that in our back pocket if we need, and unfortunately, they are able to get to a Shadow Punch here. I am going to let this go, expecting that their backline is mostly weaker to the Clodsire than they are the SABLEYE, but what do they come in with? It is the Talonflame. So we're chipping with a foul play. I don't really like this play because a Stone Edge KOs on its own. So should have just probably thrown 1 Shadow Claw, deferred the Incinerate, and then come in with my Clodsire. Either way, they full send the Brave Bird, understanding that that was one of their win conditions. And it's a Superior in the back. So unfortunately, we do not have Sludge Bomb. My opponent lets it go. So now we're in a bit of a difficult situation. They do have a Frenzy Plant here. They full send the Frenzy, which is nice, but unfortunately for me, I'm barely going to be able to outpace, and they have a shield, so now I have to go for a catch, and I do, but they don't throw. They try and commit to the farm down, which is actually huge for me, because now I can get to a foul play that KOs. Are they at another move is the question. They are not. Able to outpace to the Stone Edge. Stone Edge from this range is enough to KO the Talonflame. Not that it was a question, but we are able to take that win. Into the next match, we see a Sand Slash on the lead. So this is a very bad lead. Gonna get out into our SABLEYE so that we at least take neutral damage. And my opponent doesn't throw right away, which is nice because they give us that half a turn switch, or that 1 turn switch turn back, which is really nice because now we'll be able to throw on CMP with the next one. I am going to shield this up, and then I'm going to throw it right away because I expect them to throw as soon as they get to the move as well, which they do. And they let that one go. I'm always just going to match shields in this situation. They no shield the second, so I'm going to no shield. I should live this, and I do. And it's a Feraligatr in the back, and unfortunately my switch timer just wasn't up when they came in. So I have to take a Hydro here, and then I'm gonna just throw the foul play right before they get to their second Hydro. And now they have a decision to make. Do they want this Feraligatr to run away with the game? They do. They no shield it, so they don't. And now they're in Poison Sting farm down range, which is really nice for my Clodsire. So coming in with the Clodsire, they have a Jellicent in the back. So I am going to full send the Earthquake. This will do some very solid chip, maybe about 50%. Yep, about 50%. And I will just have to shield this Surf, because Surf is probably the hardest hitting move they can get to. I'm also just going to catch the second Surf, because why not? And this Surf obviously KOs the SABLEYE, and now, because I caught there, I will be able to outpace. I can get to the Stone Edge. They are going to shield that up, and even though these Poison Stings are resisted, we have pretty much put them in Stone Edge range, not quite just yet, and we can eat a Surf there. They try and go for a catch, but I wasn't even at the move yet. They come in with Sand Slash. I'm able to Poison Sting farm down the Sand Slash, which is double resisted, and we are able to take that win. Credilli on the lead. So we've seen this before. The last opponent switched out immediately. This one is going to stay in. This is a very neutral matchup, believe it or not, but they are forced to go for Grass Knot here, which is really nice because Grass Knot does not two-shot. Yeah, it barely 3 shots, it looks like. Or not barely, but it's just barely going to get that 3 shots. So we get to the Earthquake. That'll do over 50%. And then they throw on Alignment, which is a little odd considering you're not throwing Rock Tombs trying to debuff my attack, especially because now I can overfarm by a little bit. And I put them into Stone Edge range, so I only need to go for a Stone Edge here. And they do let that go, so I am able to get the knockout. It's a Malamar in the back, so I'm just going to get to the Stone Edge, get this chip off, and then align my Sableye, because Sableye will have a great matchup there. Taking neutral from the foul plays, resisting both the superpower and the Psy Waves. So I'm just going to let the first foul play go. If they decide to go for a second foul play, I will shield, but I'm actually able to outpace. So I'm able to get to this foul play first. They decide to shield. So now I'm wondering what's in the back, and it's a Clodsire. So I'm going to take loads of resisted poison stings and build up on loads of energy, and then come in with my Malamar because I have 2 shields, so I'm not really worried about their charge moves. They do full send the Earthquake, which is nice. Doing a little bit of lag in here, but now we can just start shielding this up. Go for the full Psywave farm down. Obviously we can do some chip with these foul plays as well. And now making sure that we always have energy loaded for if their Malamar comes back in. I am going to throw right away because they were at the move. Are they going to shield this up, or are they going to let this go? They're going to let it go, which means this game is over because this is going to force them to throw their energy. All I have to do is let this go. I'm basically already at back-to-back moves on the Sableye. So I'm just going to throw the move right as I come in, and then we're only 1 Shadow Claw away from the back-to-back. So they shield that up, but they can't shield 2 charge moves with only 1 shield. So next foul play coming their way is enough to KO the Malamar, and we're able to take that win. Into the next match, we've got a Golisopod on the lead. So this is actually a better match now that we do have the Stone Edge. We are going to farm up. We try and go for a catch, but we are unsuccessful. The reason we're going in for a catch is why. Maybe because I don't want to expose my moveset just yet. They do throw the Aqua Jet as soon as they get there, and I don't want to instantly sacrifice my Sableye, so I do go for the shield and the foul play because I want to at least remove a shield from play here. And this would be an okay decision if, like, you know, I was on Sludge Bomb, because now they're in Sludge Bomb range, but I did have the Stone Edge, so there wasn't really any point of trying to go for that Aqua Jet catch there. One thing about our opponent, though, that we've noticed is that they like to throw on CMP, but either way, they come in with a Credilli in the back, and I should be instantly getting out into Malamar here, and I'm not, which is not great. Maybe I'm just staying in, forcing them to throw, and then coming in Malamar once they're energy dry, and that it is what I'm doing. Okay, that's okay. And I am going to go for the superpower because foul play will not be enough to KO from this range. And it's not like X-Wizard isn't going to one-shot anyways. So we just go for the superpower. It is Emolga in the back. So Stone Edge Clodsire looking like it's going to be a huge winner in the end game here. And they try and go for a catch actually on a Golisopod, which means I can get to back-to-back foul plays here, which might have put me back in this game because now I can go for 1 foul play, KO the Golisopod, go for another foul play. They're probably going to let this go, and they do. So now I just have to make it to back-to-back Stone Edges before they make it to back-to-back Acrobatics. Do I call the bait is the question. I thought about it, but I don't, and they do bait with a discharge. That is a huge bait call from my opponent. And I thought about it, and I really should have, but I still think I'm going to outpace either way, and I do. So I am able to get to the Stone Edge. This easily KOs Emolga from this range, and we will take the win. I will be taking a look at Emolga soon, I think, so look forward to that video there, with a brand new Pokemon potentially once it's out. Jump off on the lead. This is a good lead, and they come in with Primeape. They do have enough for a close combat, but I'm going to call the bait. It is just the Rage Fist, and at this point they build back into the close combat, so I'm going to respect it because this would knock out, and it is the close combat, which is huge because now I can go for the full Psywave farm down, come out with loads of energy to threaten this Jumpluff, and we can always just throw 1 Psywave and the move for the good timing, and it's the Shadow. So these Sidewaves plus foul plays are going to start adding up. But they know they don't really need to shield their Jumpluff because it's like aligned against the Clodsire. So even though we had good switch and good alignment so far, they were able to grab a shield from us, and it's a Blastoise in the back. So our benefit here is that they can't farm up to the Skull Bash because that is double resisted. However, we're barely going to be able to outpace here, or we're not going to be able to outpace. They could click the move right away if they wanted to, but my opponent does go for good timing with that rollout, which allows us to get to a second foul play before they make it to their next move. They do just let that go, and at this point, I think I have to trust in Clodsire. I know I can take one Hydro, I know I still have a shield, and these rollouts are resisted, so they're never going to be able to put me in a position where they can farm me down. So I do have to just eat one here. Fortunately, even though through that lag, it looks like I did get my Poison Sting through. Eat one Hydro, shield the next Hydro, and now they should be nearly energy dry. So I can overfarm a little bit, not much, but just go for one more and the Stone Edge. This will be enough to KO, and then it's just that low HP Jumpluff in the back, and we are able to outpace. They had an Aerial Ace, but they didn't have enough for either an Energy Ball or an Acrobatics, so we're able to get to the Stone Edge, KO the Jumpluff, and we're able to take that game. So yeah, that is the top ranked team on PvPoke. This is a rank 1 team according to PvPoke, the most success that you can run. If I'm going to change this team, I'm putting Swalot because I just like Swalot. I think it's personally the best poison currently in the meta. It's the one I have the most fun with, at least. Sableye and Malamar in the back, both with only one weakness, and that is Berry, is really nice. And then they do obviously have trouble with like some darks, specifically the dark flyers, because Superpower is only neutral and Psywave is double resisted, Shadow Claw is resisted, Foul Play is resisted. So those matchups can be tricky, which is why Sableye, I believe, is the better safe swap on this team. And you are running the non-Shadow. You don't have to run the Purified because we're not running Return in this meta. Yeah, I just have the effect on because I think it's cool. But yeah, that's going to be it from me from this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, peace.